1870, explorers sat around a campfire in a place nobody believed existed. Geysers throwing boiling water at the sky. A canyon painted yellow and gold. By law, any one of them could have claimed it all and gotten rich. Instead, America did something no nation had ever done before. It gave the land to everyone. This is that story. To understand how radical that was, look at what usually happened to beautiful places. Exhibit A, Niagara Falls. By the 1860s, hustlers had swallowed it whole. Every viewpoint fenced, every glimpse cost money. Visitors scammed at the gates. Europeans loved it, not the falls, the failure. Niagara became their proof. America couldn't be trusted with beauty. And that stung. Because out west, surveyors were mapping real wonders. Wonders that made Niagara look like a garden fountain. The urgent question: what would stop Yosemite and Yellowstone from becoming next? The first answer came in 1864, from a president fighting for the country's survival. Mid-Civil War, Abraham Lincoln signed a law protecting a valley he'd never see: Yosemite. Granted to California, protected forever for public use and recreation. The seed was planted. Then came the Yellowstone reports. Congress didn't believe words, so explorers brought back proof. William Henry Jackson's photographs, Thomas Moran's paintings, dispatches from another planet. In March 1872, President Grant signed Yellowstone into existence, the first national park in the history of the world. Now, full honesty, this wasn't pure idealism. A railroad wanted tourists. Tourists needed a wonderland. Idealists and profiteers pulling the same road. History's like that. The result was still revolutionary. But here's the twist. Congress gave its new park no money and no protectors. For 14 years, poachers ran wild until America sent in the army. Cavalry ran Yellowstone for 32 years. That saga is our next episode. But one park is not a system. Its greatest test, a valley called Hetch Hetchy. San Francisco wanted to dam it for drinking water. Inside a national park. The nation argued about it for a decade. The naturalist John Muir fought it with everything. He called the valley a cathedral. He lost. The valley drowned in 1923. But the outrage changed everything. America decided its parks needed a guardian. Enter Stephen Mather, a millionaire who complained about park conditions. The government's answer? Then run them yourself. He did, like a startup. He even paid staff salaries out of his own pocket. In 1916, the Park Service was born. The Army handed over its flat hat. Then the idea escaped. Australia, Canada, Sweden, Argentina, nation after nation. Today, more than 100 countries have national parks. America's best export. Back home, the movement grew. Grand Canyon, Zion, Glacier, Denali. 63 parks now. Roadless Arctic wilderness. A fort you reach only by boat. But if we're telling 63 episodes, we're telling them honestly. Because these valleys were never actually empty. Native nations lived in, shaped, and knew these lands for thousands of years. Land for everyone often began as land taken from someone. Their removal is part of every park's origin story. We won't skip it. A great idea and a hard history can live in the same story. So here's the plan. 63 parks, 63 episodes. Every wild story the brochures leave out. A cave so huge it still isn't fully mapped. 400 miles and counting. A desert where the sand dunes sing. A rainforest where it rains 12 feet a year. Volcanoes you can walk on. Glaciers you can hear cracking. And mysteries that have never been solved. Like the honeymooners who rode into the Grand Canyon in 1928 and vanished without a trace. That's where we're going. One park at a time. 150 years ago, around that campfire, America had its best idea. It belongs to you. Subscribe to U.S. Wild History. Next, Yellowstone, the park the Army ran for 32 years.